Okay, hurry up, everyone. We should finish this project as soon as possible because I don't have much time to do this. I got something else to do to make me keep alive, to keep myself alive. I need to make some money, otherwise I'll die without food and some kind of thing like that. So we need to finish this as soon as possible. According to our previous work, the project structure, we need to do a lot of things, but generally in this video, what we are going to do is learn how to use the gang.js and put it right into this project. So at the first, we need to get into that repository. I mean, gang repository. You can see it got 11 kilometer stars. It's not that good, but also it's not that bad. I still remember just a few months ago, I made an website with the gang.js library. So maybe we can learn something from the old project. First, we will look at the app.js file. It's an inter file of React.js. So as you can see, at the first, I just imported that gang library from the gang. Then I define the server address. Then I get a user by using this. When the component did mount, I call a function which is auto login if possible. In this function, what I did is get the username and password from the local storage. If it's not none, that means we have stored those things in the local storage. So we can use the user.auth to log into the gang.js library or dataset. A database. If the ID inacknowledge, that means we are indeed logged in to our database. Else, if we get errors from the acknowledgement, we say, oh, you didn't. It means we got the wrong password or wrong username. If that was true, we will redirect the user to the login page. Okay, let's have a look at the component login. In there, I just got the user from the parent component and the gang of library, of course. And in this page, I just rendered a form of login. Once the user clicks the submit button, I will do something like this. I will arse that with the username and the password. If the ID is in the acknowledgement, we set that username and password to local storage. Then we get that we get our user's public key. No, we set it. Whatever. You can ignore this line of code. We don't need that yet. Else we say something was wrong. Okay, it's quite easy for you to define the user stuff. You just have to call a few functions, and the gang library will do that job for you. Okay, enough talking. Let's just get into the official document. I was worried about the API could change after after I made that repository. What if it changed some API? Then I'll have to learn it again. No, it's still the same. It's still the same. Create authn and all such of thing. It's still in there. Okay, so enough talking. Let's just jump into the code to write our own stuff in JavaScript. Wait a minute. What if we can use view gang.js? Well, you really have that from here, but it's updated 3 years ago. So I'm a little bit worried about this. So I think I will implement the whole things by myself. Okay, at the first we should install the gang.js. So we will use lampy install gang. Then we restarted the development server, and we found something was wrong here. The view material, these dependencies were not found. What? It should be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Let's just run the yarn again. Hope we can get it right. No, still wrong. So what I'm supposed to do? Yarn add view material. Let's run this again. Okay, this time it just worked. Hey, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go to the main.js file. From here, we have to import our gang library. So you have to do something like this. Just copy the old code that I wrote a few months ago. Import gang from gang and give it a local server and get a user like that. Okay, something was wrong here. Model error. User is assigned to a value but never used. Okay, I know how to deal with that. All I need is say gang and the user done. That should do it. Yeah. So what's the next step that we should do? I don't know. Let's just call the F12 visit the development console. Say if we can use something like this. There's gun. No, cannot do that. How about that? Gun. Oh, still we cannot do that from here. Oh yeah, we need a function here. We need a function auto login if possible. We need to put this function to somewhere of our code. Let's say app.view. In here we can define our method. I believe it is called method. And what else? I don't know, so I need to check out my tutorial. How to use store in Vue.js. Okay, after the method declaration, you have to define your function one by one. It's just something like this. Let's do it. Method. Then you have to define your function. How do you do that? You can say something like, let's just copy the code. Login if possible. User len password. If user len equal to none and password equal to none, we do nothing. If it's equal to literally nothing, then we do nothing. If it gets some value, we use the user awesome and do that. How do we access the user variable at the main.js or at the global level? We should say this and a symbol like that. Use if it's true, we're gonna say login in. Of course, we should do that. But here we just need a few things. For example, we need to use vuex. We need to use that. We need to have a global store. If you want to know how to use vuex, you can just search for it. For example, how to install it. Just do this. Yarn 8 vuex. Good. After that, let's just reload the server. Cool. And wait a minute. We need to change the main.js file. According to my tutorial, this is what we should do. First, we import the vuex. Then we say vue.use vuex. And after that, we define a storm, global storm. Then we pass that storm to the view class or object. After this storm, we will define the default state. It can be nothing, undefined, nothing in there, of course. And we will set the user public key. Set the user. Let's do this. Set user public key state and the key. So we will say state that user public key with the key file. I was wondering if we want to save the if we should save the user len and password. We will see that. Now let's just delete all those actions. We don't need those things. Or maybe we can keep one to remind me how to do this job. Good. We have defined our storm. So now we can do some changes in here. Mutation will say change user login state. Blue value. We should say state that logged in equal to blue value. Here, instead of set state, we can just say this with that symbol store dot commits with the len of that mutation. Here it is change the user login state, and we will say true. Let's see what we get here. Failed to compile. State is not defined. So instead of just saying that, we could say this dot state. That should work. Still get it wrong. Get something wrong. Person error, unexpected token. So we cannot do that. We can define a function with that structure. We should say something like this. That should work. Yes. Good. Now we should call this method when after the component was finished or before the component was finished. So it is called auto login, I guess. Before create hog, not same methods on class, no. We do need to understand the Vue.js life circle hooks because we need to do the login job before it creates our user interface. So we will say before create, give it a function, do some function in there. So here's the actions. It's actions. We should do that. Syns async. Hey, how to say that? Async. All right, async. We need to define an async function of not auto logging if possible. We will just copy the code in here and paste it to this place. Good. So before it creates, we need to call this function this dot this storm that dispatch the action. What kind of action? This action, auto logging if possible. Good. So after the login, we shall do something else. For example, if we should control our table, we should control our table in this place. It's a single page application, so we should control all of those things in here. If we want to log in, we will just pop up a window to let the user input their username and password and something like that. And yeah, that's it. That's right. Definitely, we should do that. So instead of getting to the login page, we will just change the user login state to false. We will change it to false. If it is false, then in default we will say this that we will say logged in equal to false. And we will also say the user public key equal to none. Right, I think I need to cut this video now because it's just too long. And I think we have already covered how to import the gang.js and how to use it with the view, and how to use vuex. It's just it's quite simple, right? But there has something else we need to do. It was not included. It should not included in this video, because it is something like this. Say we need to create a UI user interface of login. At this page we will create a window, pop-up window, and in that window we will need two boxes: the user boxes and the user box and the password box, and a login or log up button. We will do some UI stuff. It was not. It shouldn't be included in this video. This video was meant to tell you how to use a gang.js and how to use a vuex in a global level. What I mean when I say the global level, the actually meaning for that is that we could be able to use those values at anywhere in your component. All you have to do is call something like this that with this symbol, and followed by the lamp that you just defined in here. For example, the store, the gang, the user. That's it. Do you understand? So I will see you in the next video. Bye.